Hi crafty people, my name's Zoe, also known as Hitch to the Stitch on Instagram. Today is a little bit of a different video. I'm doing a yarn stash tour, so I'm going to go through especially all the yarns that I have projects for, and then I'll just show you what else is in my stash at the end. But I put together a bit of a list, so if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at my notes, and yeah, let's get into it. The first yarn I have to show you today is some special yarn that I picked up in Venice in a little shop. If I remember its name, or I'll link its name or show its name on the screen here. But it's this beautiful, it's called Lana Gatos, made in Italy, St. Moritz. I don't know, but it's 80% alpaca, 17% polyamide and 3% wool. And it's got these really gorgeous, vibrant colors, purples, bit of brown, some deeper blue, and I love the pop of orange that you've got coming up here. And also there's a bit of red that's a bit more dull, a bit more burnt orangey in person. And I got two of these, so they are, how much? There's 580 meters per skein. And I thought, okay, if I just get two of these, I'm sure I'll be able to figure out something. I didn't have a plan for them at the time, but now I've got two potential options. I was thinking the pattern Lenu by Ankestrick. If I don't pronounce these right, I'm doing my best. So I'd combine this, which is a, let's say fingering or lace weight. It's got quite a bit of hair to it. So I was just thinking to do this pattern, it needs fingering and lace weight to make DK with a 19 stitch 28 row gauge on 4mm needles. Probably would need a little over 1,000 meters for my size, and I generally knit the size small. And by the way, this is something I've made. I've shown it in my everything I've knit before 2024 video if you want to check that out. It is the what's the name? It's the Snowfield Slipover, and so a pattern I'd really recommend. It's very cozy, nice vest, and is a little bit more, I can't really pull off the super trendy vest, so I opted for this one and I really love it. So yeah, so if I knit this with about 1,000 meters for my size, I'll have enough from these. And I was going to pair it with possibly knitting for olive merino in the color white, so I can just mainly have pops of these colors sort of coming out. I'll have to put, I haven't got that yarn yet, so I'll have to knit up a swatch, see what I think of that, but that's my plan at this stage. The other option is a really beautiful pattern called Helia by Joanna Ang. And that is an 18 stitch and 24.5 row gauge with 4.5mm needles. I'm just going to open that up and tell you exactly what I like about these two patterns. Lenu is quite a simple, regular, it looks like raglan construction. Actually, maybe it's not. I'm not entirely sure what the construction is. It says it's a variation of a contiguous saddle shoulder, which is something I clearly haven't done before, not knowing what it looks like. So it's got these shoulder sort of panels here, and then it has a really great pattern. I don't quite know how to describe it, but I'll have the photo here, with some really nice texture and almost mock cable looking pattern, and I think that's really nice and simple, and would really like both of these patterns that I've chosen are mostly simple, but then with a little bit of something interesting, because I wonder what it would look like in this yarn. The Helia has all the pattern on the arms, and it's very simple for the rest of it. It looks like a raglan possibly. Yes, that's it. It's a raglan, and it has these great cables and interesting stitches along the arms that I think is really beautiful. And I think that would make this pop held with a white just to keep it, yeah, just to make this color really pop out, and all the colors pop individually. I think that would be really nice. So that's the plan for this yarn here. The next bit of yarn I had some of the Kid Setter, Gepard Kid Setter. It's 70% Super Kid mohair and 30% Chape Silk. I'm not sure how to say that one, but it is color 406. It's just a white color, and I've been really, I think something missing in my wardrobe is a white cardigan. So I only had 2 of these. Yesterday I went up and picked up a few more, everything I need to make that cardigan, because it's been on my mind for about 2 years. And the shop that I went to didn't actually have more of this gepard, but it did have this silk mohair from Isaga, and it's 75% kid mohair, 25% silk, and there's about 212 meters, I think 210 in this one, per skein of 50 grams, or sorry, 25 gram skein. And when I put them next to each other, they are, I mean, you can't really tell as much on camera, but they're pretty much the same color. And the lady let me take them out and compare them outside in natural light as well, and I couldn't really see a difference. So I just picked up 4 more of the Isaga to match with the 2 balls that I have of the gepard, because I will need about, I think it's, for the size small, it'll require 1150 to 1200 meters of yarn, and that's knit up with 18 stitch gauge and 28 rows on 4.5 millimeter. So the DK plus the lace. So I've picked up the DK yesterday as well to match it, and I've heard a few things about the Cascade 220. Lots of knitters on YouTube seem to like this one, so I wanted to give it a shot, and I like that they have just a plain white base for the DK, and together these will make sort of a worsted weight gauge. So looking forward to using this one, and that is the plan for this bits of yarn that I just recently shopped. Some other, so I've got, this is going to be crinkly for a second, so I might just get it out and then I'll show you. So what I have as my next bit of yarn is this gorgeous cashmere, and I really like wearing grey actually. I'm not so much of a black person often, but I do like grey a lot. And this is from Joanna Ang, I think. I might have to check that name. I'm always bad with pronouncing that one, but it is a really nice cashmere. It feels great anyway. I'm using another one of their cashmeres in one of my projects at the moment, which is this black scarf called, I'm having no luck at remembering things today, the estuary wrap from Purl Soho. That's what it is. That's the scarf that I'm making at the moment, and I'm using black cashmere with a mohair to hold together, and it's just a black scarf. It's funny that I just said I don't wear that much black, but there you go. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to making this into the Botanical Yoke pullover. It's a really gorgeous, very, it looks very complicated, but I don't think it actually will be. It's one of those, you know, magical knitting things where it looks complex, but it's really just quite simple cabling. Or yeah, it might even just be ribbing in certain patterns and a little bit of cabling here and there. But it's really beautiful. I'm just hoping that I have enough of this. I might either have to buy more, because when I originally bought this yarn, and it comes with this, I think, what is it? It's cashmere thread. So that's to be held together with this to make it a bit stronger. So I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to get gauge with this. So either I'll have to add more together or get some more of this. The other option is, if I really don't have enough, there's this cabled t-shirt that is from the designer Kate that I've like drooled over for a couple of years. Obviously I don't think there's a pattern. I haven't found a pattern that's super similar to that yet. So that's something that's on my mind, that I could just make this into more of a t-shirt cashmere top pattern based on that one from Kate, and I'll put a picture up here. So that's the plan for this cashmere. I have a bit more of their cashmere this is their mink cashmere. Let me get this out of this. There's the color, hopefully it's coming out right. Yeah, I've got 2 balls of this, and I've got some leftover mohair. It's not great quality mohair, so I'm not sure if I want to combine these together. Not entirely sure what I'll make yet, but I was thinking a beanie or some mittens, but maybe yellow mittens is a little bit adventurous in case, you know, they could get more easily damaged or dirty. Or it could be made into some type of small scarf. I'm not sure what exactly I'll make with this yet. I think beanie might be the nicest option. And it's very, very soft and beautiful. My last beanie turned out super itchy, which I spoke about already, and could do with some more less itchy beanies. So that is an option for this one at least. The next bit of yarn I have to show you is these. It's predominantly this type of yarn. It's Abbey Road cotton. I think it's 100% cotton. Yes, that's right. 140 meters in a 100-gram ball, and its gauge is 14 stitches by 20 rows, knit up on 5.5 millimeter needles. The plan for these ones, I've got a few colors here. So I've got orange, sort of a greeny blue, this pink, another pink, and some purple. So all these colors. And I was planning on making the sunset sweater by Easy Knit and Strikkehelle, or Strikkehelle, Strikkehelle. I'm not exactly sure. I know it's something about knitting, but she makes absolutely wonderful things. I've followed her on Instagram for a couple of years and get inspired by the things that she makes. And when she released this sunset sweater, I was absolutely in love with it. I could see myself mainly wearing this one, especially in summer months, when to the beach or something like that on one of the colder nights. So I think that a cotton is a good choice for me for this sweater, and I believe this will meet roughly a gauge. I might have to just do some testing with changing needle sizes, and I'm planning to, I don't have the white yet as the base color to mix in with these yet. I have one white cotton that is similar to these, but it's been discontinued, so I'm gonna need more than that, and I probably need to just get a new set of yarn to match with these. I'm not sure how much that would be yet, but that's the plan for these ones. I have next written down here a mini sock set bundle that I have. Maybe I'll share a photo, but I have already started it since I wrote this list. I got excited, and I'm making the Mix It Up socks by this Handmade Life. And yeah, I'll leave that one for my knitting podcast rather than sharing it here. The next one I have is I've got a fair few different colored mohairs. I'll just get them out. Okay. The next bit, yeah, so I have a fair few mohairs here. These are some really beautiful ones that I made a balaclava with, and I've got a little bit of green left over as well from a beanie that I made. So these are some of the mohairs that I have, the nice mohair. Then I have some that I picked up from Spotlight, and they're 75% polyester and 22% acrylic. So these are my not so good mohairs. So I'm hesitant to think about whether I'd want to combine these mohairs. So I'll just show all the colors that I have of these ones. I have these colors, and I'm missing one actually. This one here. So these are the colors that I have in that faux mohair, and I think I'd just keep these for a particular pattern, and then the nice mohairs, maybe get a few more other complementary colors and make this into something else. That's a mohair project. The projects that I have here written down, not sure how I would use them yet, but one is Nordstrand by Hanne Rimmen, sorry. And it's got this beautiful pattern that just comes across the top here and across the arms. I think it's really nice. I think it's an Aran weight, and it just seems like a simple, nice jumper. And I was thinking you could gradient the colors from the top of the pattern to the bottom of the pattern, and that could look really pretty with just a black or dark brown or whatever complementing color goes with all the colors there, as a base, or even a white jumper as well with that colorful. Maybe if it was white with these ones, that could look quite pretty. And yeah, gradient through that's one potential. Another one is the Pohjola Pullover by Sari Nordland. It's got a beautiful classic sort of style pattern that's in a raglan style. Yeah, so very classic. What's it called? I'm out of words today. But it's got this classic typical pattern that comes from the top of the neck down to about midway through the chest. It's a very pretty pattern. I've already bought the pattern, so I got excited about that one. I think it was on sale and just got it to keep in my stash for one day I want to make that one. So that's a second option. Another option that I have is the Vejers sweater by Camilla. It combines two light fingering weight yarns to make a sport yarn. And I really like the first photo that she has of this pattern with the gradient again of the color from a light color down to a deeper color at the bottom with this sort of hexagonal pattern with sort of an eye in the middle of it. I think that's a very nice simple pattern that could be jazzed up depending on what colors you apply to it. The other thought that I had was something that I definitely know I want to make. It's the spot sweater by, her name is by Ventzel. I've been drooling over that one for a little while, so I'd love to make that someday soon. I'm not sure which of these I would use, potentially the FOMO, just to get used to making this spot sweater, because I cannot see myself making more than one of them. I think that it's a wonderful pattern, and I love how many variations she has and shares, and she also shares the ways to achieve that. So I think her patterns are all very, very beautiful, and many of them are on my wish list to make. But that's one that's on, has got a particular place that I definitely want to get to shortly. The next yarn I'll show you is a little bit of a different style. I would like to make the Sailor Swift top by Veronika Lindberg. And it requires fingering weight. I'm not sure if I will have enough of this in the current quantities that I have. I just have one of each. This is a very natural sort of beige color, and then I have a maroony sort of merlot color here. It's not coming up quite naturally on camera. It's a lot deeper than what it looks like here. Let me see if I can, yeah, it's not really showing up that well. But I think together these two will make a really nice version of that Sailor Swift top. Hopefully I have enough, otherwise I'll see if I can hunt down some more of this, because I think that is the perfect pattern for these two. These are very, fingering, this is fingering weight, and it's 25 stitches by 44 rows, and I think the Sailor Swift pattern requires 23 stitches by 35 rows on 3mm, and 300 to 350 meters, whether, I don't know if I wrote that down for each of them, but each of these balls has, it doesn't say. That is odd. Anyway, this color, yeah, actually this color is called pomegranate, which I think is one of the reasons why I bought it, because I love pomegranates. Anyway, that's the plan for these two. So I'll move on from that one. Another yarn that I picked up when I was in Venice is this really funky sort of teddy bear type yarn. It has all these different colors in it, and some sort of glittery sparkle to some of the yarn. I'm not sure if you can see that at all coming up on camera, but there's some oranges and some green, grey, dark grey or black in here. I just thought it was really funky and unique, and something a little bit different. It is 50% acrylic, 33% polyamide, and 11% wool, 6% polyester. But I was just thinking, I've got two of these balls and the other one's just fallen apart. But maybe just a funky beanie or something like that, or maybe a nice little cowl, and just something a little bit different and unique. Or even actually this could be knit up into, oh, this could be a really nice pillow maybe. I like that idea. Yep. Okay. Just the front of a pillow, and then I can knit the back in something else. That could be really nice. So that's one that I picked up then. Another smaller quantity that I have is this yarn here. I bought it to make a friend some socks that I shared maybe a picture of at some point, with the band logo of a band that we both like called Accept. And the color is called Hadrian's Wall, which I thought was fun. And it's this kind of stony grey blue, it's like very grey, almost navy though, color, and I think it's really nice. And I paired it with this, again, these reds. The reds are really popping today, but this is quite a deeper red, and I made the band logo Accept in the socks. And I think I'd like to actually I've got a little bit left over from the socks as well. So putting these together, there is a beanie, I think by PetiteKnit. I'll put its name on the screen, but I don't know what it's called. But it's a beanie that a lot of people tend to make. And I think I'd like to, because what I like about it is that there's almost two layers. You've got the front and the back. And I'd like to have a flippable so that on one side, the band logo is Accept, and I'll put the band logo here. And then on the other side, when I flip it inside out, I'll have a different band logo there, and I'll have AC/DC. So at least that's my plan at the moment with these yarns. I'll have the red for Accept and a white for AC/DC. Yeah, I think that would be really fun. Someday go to their concert and wearing a beanie that I made with their logo. I've also got this red here. I bought that at the same time as this red to sort of compare which one I wanted to do, whether I wanted a more toned down red or a brighter pop of red. I think I should start moving through this a little bit quicker now. I've got a lot of this yarn left over that I made a t-shirt in recently. And it's called, yes, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's 5 and 2 half balls that I only used half a ball of each to make a t-shirt. So I've got so much of this. It was a bit silly buying that, but I just had no awareness at that time. So the plan with these maybe will be an air tee by Ozetta, a harvest tee by Ozetta, the Drawstring Camisole by Purl Soho, or the Sandy Beach Sweater by Novita. And I'll have all of their pictures up around me. And I'll probably get to make several of those with the yarn that I have left over. But knowing how painful it was to make the clover tee with this yarn, because it was so small on such fine needles, took a really long time with a lot of knitting. I'd really put in a lot of time and effort and work, and it still took forever to make that. So when I work up the courage again, maybe towards the end of winter, I'll put one of those on the needles. There is some yarn here as well that I kind of want to get rid of. I bought this a while ago thinking I'd make a pattern by Petite knit that I have. It's got, I'll put it up, but it's got sort of a tartan type thing, and I thought, oh, I can do a base of blue and then have these be the stripes. And I've really disliked that idea at the end. I just don't like this blue. It's all a bit weird. There's a watermelony color here, a light pink blush there, and this quite vibrant blue. No, I think I'd just rather give these away to someone and see if they want to make anything with it. Or maybe a pair of mittens. I could imagine making, there's a mitten, I can't remember its name, maybe I'll put it on the screen, that I saw in Ravelry that has this sort of fluffiness, but then a normal color matched rib at the bottom. So maybe I could make something for my sister out of that. But since I got these, pretty much a lot less inspired by them. I have some raffia left over from my seashell bag raffia project. I still haven't finished that yet, so I gotta get onto that. But don't know what I'll make with this. Probably another bag of some description. I've got 2 of them, and that's all. Some random blue yarn, not sure what I'll be using with this. I have some cotton yarn that I'm using for a different project, but in different colors. But this is the other colors that I bought that aren't involved in that project. And they're 70% viscose from bamboo and 30% cotton. They're actually really, really nice, and they knit up or crochet up lovely. I'm thinking of just making some dishcloths with these and giving them away to people for housewarmings or Christmas presents, birthday presents. I think that would be a nice little gift to give someone. So that's the plan for these. I have this really great, I have no idea what it was. I think I found it in the bargain bin at one point, and it's this fuzzy, greeny, white, funky sort of yarn. It's very, very soft, and I really like it. And what I've been making with them, and I have not touched this project in about 2 years, so someday I'll get back around to it, is these little puff flowers using crochet techniques. And this is what it looks like on the back side, not that you use that. So this is the front, and there is something I saw on Pinterest which combines all of these. You can either make a bag and you sort of combine them together like that. I've got a few more like this, and there's one with a top. There's one top, and there's a bag that I quite liked the look of. I think I'd try for the top first, and if the top just looks a bit bulky or weird, then I will change it to a bag. So I've got 3 balls left of this. I think that will make plenty of flowers that I'll be able to make something out of them someday. So that's that. And then I have some hand-me-down yarn. Some of this is op shop yarn, but I've got a whole box here of sort of hand-me-down yarn that came from my nana to my mum and now to me. And my nana was a very crafty woman, and she gave the stuff to her daughter, my mum. My mum is not very crafty, so then I got it all. And some of it's some really nice, very bright, vibrant, beautiful old yarns that have these extraordinary colors. What else we got in here? There's also some different type stuff like this. I can't even describe this mohair. It's probably one of the softest mohairs I've ever felt. Or actually, it's probably not. I don't think it's mohair. One of the softest yarns I've ever felt. It's beautiful. And real funky one. Also, these are very high quality old yarns. Some alpaca, some black alpaca. So there's a bit of everything in this box. Don't know what I'll make for it. I'm hoping one day to make a real scrappy project. And I think with these beautiful yarns, that would be really fun. Not entirely sure what yet. I saw one of my, I'm just trying to remember her name. I watch her all the time. Anyway, she has fantastic podcasts and sort of yarn, knitting inspired content. And I'll put up her name here. She did this amazing cowl by a designer. Forgive me for my lack of memory today. But I'll put up a picture of that and the pattern. I thought that was really gorgeous the way that she did that. I liked especially that it was all light pastel-y type colors. So maybe I'd get around to making something like that with these. I haven't yet decided. And then I just have, these are for a project, just a bag of random colored yarns. I am making my there's just a bunch of different colors in here. Maybe I'll just show you like this. Right. I'm making, these are just some scrap yarns that I'm going to make her, continue making her a nativity scene. So I've already made her Jesus, Mary and Joseph, and like baby Jesus, the hay bale and everything, and a shepherd and a sheep. And now I've got to make the 3 wise men, some camels. Who else is a part of the scene? The angel. I think that's it. I think that's it. Though that's what I still have to make for her. So these sort of random yarns are designated for that project. And I've got to get onto that again because she hasn't received a few of them in a while. And then I've just got some scraps from old projects, like this one from a recent one, these from a pair of socks that I made, my super scratchy beanie green on the bottom here, that was paired with a mohair. I don't know what about it, it feels fine like this, but just my forehead just it goes crazy. Yeah, I've got this Stellaris, great yarn to put in and make something like a little bit interesting and, you know, glittery. That is roughly all the yarn that I have to show you. Oh, I do have, so the mohairs that I had held up earlier, the nice ones, they were all by Amano. Sorry, Uma by Amano, Uma by Amano. And it's 37% baby suri, 37% super kid mohair, and 26% mulberry silk. So that is all the yarn that I have to get through. There's always a temptation to buy new stuff for new projects, but the plan is to get through some of this at least at the same time to start to clear some of the old stuff. I don't really want, you know, a big tub and a box and a random one of these hanging around with all the yarn. I'd like to start to, if I get inspired by a new pattern that comes out, or really inspired by something that I've already seen that I really want to pick up and finally do, I'd like to be able to purchase the yarn for that without feeling bad that I already have so much yarn that I need to get through, that I did buy with intention at one point. So the goal is to really, yeah, shop the stash and make some of these projects and start to clear out what I have on the boxes. And then if I'm really not inspired by any of the old yarns that I have, I'd like to move them on, give them away. I've started hosting these arts, crafts, wine and cheese nights for some girls, and you know, everyone brings the idea is everyone brings a craft and a snack or a wine or something like that, and we sit down together and do our own little crafts while chatting and snacking on all this yummy food. We had it the other. I had it the other night. It's something I used to do back when I was in my first couple of years of uni in a share house, and it was really nice to be able to host that again. Highly recommend. We all had a great time, but I said to everyone, if you're not sure what craft, because not everyone is, you know, carries around boxes of yarn and stuff to the new houses they move into and etc. I said I've got plenty of spare craft stuff if they ever want to. So some of this yarn, who knows, might be used by them at some point if I teach them to knit or crochet something small that they want to do on some of these craft nights. So hopefully some of it will get used up by friends. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a little bit of a hectic, random, I don't know, I wasn't very focused throughout this video. but I hope maybe I inspired you with some of the patterns that I've chosen, or made you remember, oh yeah, actually that project is something I wanted to get into too, or just a reminder to work on the stash that you already have, rather than that always present temptation of buying something new because you've been inspired by something else. So anyway, wherever you are, have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.